Now live on BBC One, David Dimbleby hosts EU Referendum. The results.
Good evening and welcome at the end of this momentous day when each one of us has had the chance to say what kind of country we want to live in. At 10 o'clock, the polling stations close after weeks, months, years of argument, and we'll have the answer to the question that's haunted British politics for so long. Do we want to be in or out of the EU? As at every election, there's been the usual round of main players casting their votes. Prime Minister David Cameron out early this morning in Westminster to cast his ballot, and so too other leading figures on both sides of the debate. There's not been for many years a choice that's aroused such passion, splitting families, dividing friends, for this is a vote with a difference. No constituencies, no first past the post. Every vote will count as equal as this country defines itself. Jeremy Vine's going to be watching for the first sign of a trend, one way or t'other.
I will be making my way along Downing Street through the night and watching the votes pile up. Blue for leave, yellow for remain. Could it be this close? Together we'll find out who's in the lead by the morning.
The votes are going to be counted locally at 382 centres right across the United Kingdom and one in Gibraltar. And we have reporters watching at some of the centres likely to declare early. Babita Sharma is in Newcastle.
For general elections, Newcastle has been pipped to the post by its local rival Sunderland. Tonight, though, Newcastle is hoping to become the first area to declare a result in its historic referendum. They think maybe, possibly, we'll have a result here as early as midnight.
Here in the studio, we'll be taking in the results announced locally and analysing them to build up a picture of how the country has voted and what the result is likely to be. John Curtis and his team have been working for months on how to interpret the early numbers to give us some clue to the answer. And Laura Kunsberg, the BBC's political editor, is here to bring news from the two camps and to speculate on the look of the political world we'll live in once this referendum is over. And above us, Emily Maitlis with guests, the victors and the vanquished.
Yes, we'll be analysing what each new result tells us about the state of the race and the choices each part of the country has made. And as the story unfolds, we'll ask which bits of the campaign worked, which flopped, and if British politics will ever look quite the same again.
Now, the ballot boxes stay open for just a few moments more, and then the drama of referendum night can begin. Now, when Big Ben strikes 10 in a general election, of course, we release our exit poll to give the first indication of who's won. For the referendum, it's not going to be possible. Exit polls work, if they do, by comparing one election with another and measuring the change. It'd be crazy to compare this European referendum with the one that was held 41 years ago. It wouldn't work. So patience is our watchword tonight as we wait for the first actual declarations to come through. So Big Ben has struck 10 o'clock, and we can now start trying to discover which side thinks has carried the day on the basis of the results that come in. Some of the polling booths, I said they were all closed, are staying open apparently because the weather's been so frightful in parts of Britain today that if you're in the queue to vote, the polling booth stays open until you get the chance to vote. And we do have one bit of news from Gibraltar. Gibraltar is an hour ahead of us, so their polls closed an hour ago. At their last general election, they had 71% turnout. This time, 84% turnout, so a big turnout in Gibraltar. Well, at 20 minutes to 5, we can now say the decision taken in 1975 by this country to join the common market has been reversed by this referendum to leave the EU. We are absolutely clear now that there is no way that the Remain side can win. It looks as though the gap's going to be something like 52 to 48, so a 4-point lead for leaving the EU. And that's the result of this referendum, which has been preceded by weeks and months of argument and dispute and all the rest of it. The British people have spoken, and the answer is, we're out.